Let's talk about preschool at home. So today, you guys, I thought I would share with you our homeschool preschool curriculum. There's a lot of stuff that my older two just learned on their own. I did not teach them their shapes. I did not teach them their colors. Some things like that, they just really learned on their own. The main thing that I wanted them to really learn in preschool was to recognize their letters, not just singing their ABC song. Because when a child sings their ABC song, that doesn't mean that they recognize what those letters look like. It doesn't mean that they know their letters. It just means that they've memorized a song. And so I did really want them to kind of recognize letters in preschool. So today I'm going to show you my 3-year-old's preschool curriculum. And I've been wanting to do some more things for her preschool wise. But this year, when her sisters were doing school, she showed some intense interest. Like, if her sisters are doing school, then she thinks that she has to have school too. And so these are the things that I have picked out for her to do if she feels like it. And if she doesn't, then I just don't push it. I just let her go on and do whatever her 3-year-old self wants to do. But most of the time, she thinks that she needs to do her school too. So a lot of what you're going to see today is handwriting without tears, but I want to talk about how I'm using that for my daughter's preschool. So my 3-year-old has this little binder just like her sisters do, and it has a little pocket right here. I just have some little felt letters in there that she doesn't really ever use. Just like her sisters, she has the little pocket folder divider things with the tabs, and inside her pocket is the letter that she is going to be working on that day. So for example, on this one I have like a little list written out in Sharpie. I really want to make a picture list so she can visually see what she's supposed to be doing. But at this point she really kind of knows what she's supposed to be doing. It's got like a rhythm to it. So in here are these little cards from Handwriting Without Tears, and you can tell they look like little wood blocks. So she would pull this out, and then I would hand her the little box of wood pieces, and then she will build the letter on the little mat. So then after she builds the letter, we will sing a little song about the letter. So for I, we would sing, I says I, every letter makes a sound, I says I. So next on the list is a little book. This particular day, she's learning the letter I sound, and so this little alphabet book is about the letter I. It's from Learning Resources. It comes in like a little box. A friend, I don't know what just fell out of that. Oh, the letter I. A friend gifted this alphabet books box to me when she found out we were going to be homeschooling, and it's really cute. So basically, it makes she thinks she's reading, you guys. So I will point to it, and if she knows what it is, she would say ice. If she doesn't know what it is, she might say like square or something. Some of the things she doesn't really know, like an igloo. I don't know that she would know what an igloo is. Or like this says ice cream, but like if it was S, it might say Sunday, and she wouldn't know to say Sunday. So anyway, so she would say ice, and she would say all the pictures, basically what they are. Like she would say box on this one, but it says in. So yeah. Oh, anyway, so she would say what each image is, and then I would read the words, and then when we got to that image, she would say it out loud. So I would say, I wish the, and she would say igloo was made out of, she would say ice cream rather than ice. And so that's kind of how we do those. It's just kind of showing her how reading works. So she's not actually reading, but she's kind of learning the concept of reading, that we're reading across the page. So she's understanding how reading works, even though she's not actually doing the reading. So next on her list is roll-a-dough. So this is once again from Handwriting Without Tears. You guys, I have done like a whole like review of Handwriting Without Tears for preschool and kindergarten. I will link that video in the iCards if you want to check it out, and kind of like all the things I bought from them this year. But basically it's this like weird gluten-free pinkish kind of colored dough. And then it's got the little blue rectangle, which they're famous for. That's their whole thing, is built on these little blue rectangles. And then I would have the card picked out for her. So I would find the letter I, and she would basically roll out dough into the shape of the letter I. And then after she does it, I would say, I says, and then she would say, I. And so I've done this with my older kids where we kind of get it stuck in their brain. I would say, I says, and then my older two who have already sang that song over and over again with me would say I, or whatever it is. Like even if my older two are reading something and they couldn't remember like what a certain letter said, I would say A says, and then that little jingle kind of triggers, oh, A says ah. I know this. I've sung this like a bazillion times. A says ah. So next on her list is Stamp and See Screen. That is this little guy right here. Once again, it is the little blue rectangle. And it's got all the wood pieces, but this time they are stamps. So basically she will stamp out the letter. So I is a big line down, and then a line across the top and a line across the bottom, or you would say like hat and shoes. So she would build it that way, then erase it, and she would attempt, this is a little more difficult for her to do, let's see, big line down, and then we have a cap on the top and shoes on the bottom, attempt to write it like that. Because of fine motor skills, that part of like actually drawing the letter without a guide is slightly frustrating for her, but you guys, she's 30, so that's to be expected, I think. Okay, so the last thing on my 3-year-old's list is to trace. And so she has currently been using this Usborne Wipe Clean alphabet. So what I usually try to do is whatever letter she is working on that day, I would try to have her find it in the book. But for today's example, she was doing the letter I, so I usually will have her trace that letter. And then if there's any other dotted lines on that image, I would have her trace those as well. So I is for igloo. Some of them are longer and they have more examples, but I today did not. And then that's it. And at that point, she will usually ask me if she can play on the iPad. And because I am trying to get lessons done with her older sisters and she keeps interrupting, I will let her. But the thing is, she has a select few games that she is allowed to play, and they are all but maybe like one educational games. So she will spend about 20 to 30 minutes doing educational apps while I finish lessons with her sisters. I forgot to mention that we also have these 2 books in our morning basket, and they are in our morning basket for my 3-year-old. So these 2 books are from the All About Reading pre-reading level. It's like their late preschool, early kindergarten, letter recognition and some phonics curriculum. So like letter recognition and early phonics is that level. We are not doing that complete curriculum right now with my 3-year-old, but we have been reading the books. So this is Zigzag Zebra, a rhyming alphabet. So basically on that particular day, if she was doing letter I that day, for example, I would turn to the story with the letter I on it and then read the story that is going to be using the I sound basically over and over again. Same thing for poetry. So this is a poetry book. It's called Lizard Lou, a collection of rhymes old and new. I would turn to the story that has an I, and then I would read all the rhymes and poems that are behind the I section. So these are in our morning basket, and my preschooler also does the rest of our morning basket with us. So basically all of our family subjects, she does all that with us. So if you want to check that out, I will link last month's morning basket in the iCards, but I do a morning basket video every single month. Those are the things that we actually do on a regular, like daily basis for preschool with her. But I do have a stack of things that I always intend to do with her, but I don't actually usually get to. So I thought I'd show you guys those as well. So I have these other Wipe Clean books. They just kind of sit out, and if she feels motivated, she can get them. So it is a Wipe Clean beginning pen control. This one is by Usborne. Once again, this one was a gift. This one I actually bought. This one's from Walmart, and it is Wipe Clean Learn to Write. Once again, another pen control book. A few other books I always intend to get to but usually don't would be the Big Book of Colors. So basically I use this more as a might be like picture study, in the sense of I will open it up to a certain color and I will say, what color do you see? And she would tell me green. I would say, what else do you see on the page? Like, what's going on? And then have her basically describe to me things that are on the page. But once again, you guys, I did not teach my kids their colors. They just figured it out by us speaking descriptively. So, hey, would you hand me that green pencil? I really like the red shirt you have on today. We just didn't have to teach them. We just would say the word in conversation. So I also have these two books that were once again gifts. So this is Count to 100. I've used this with my older kids too. So for my preschooler, we're just kind of working on counting to 20. And then towards the back, I use this book with my older kids to count higher. And then I also have this book that was gifted to us. It's Usborne Lift the Flap ABC. It's always my intent to do like a spread of this once a week with her, and it just really hasn't happened as often as I would like, but she will occasionally open it up and just start like looking through it, and that's fine with me. So if she brings it to me, we will go through it. So you guys, that is it for today's video. That is our homeschool, preschool at home curriculum up to this point. I do think that I need to get some like cutting skills stuff. That's pretty much our homeschool, preschool at home curriculum for my 3-year-old. Let me know in the comments below what you're using for preschool because I want to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps out our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications so that YouTube will actually let you know when we upload a video. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.